What is going on, Nuggets Nation NBA fans? My name is Tom Leuthner. Welcome back to another episode of Nuggets Today, brought to you by Underdog. If you guys did not know, we're officially sponsored by Underdog. Scan this QR code right here, download the app, and I will have a promo code out for you guys in a little while. Now, if you were going to tell me that I had to promise you something in life, I will tell you, or at least for just yesterday, the first thing I would promise you is that the Denver Nuggets probably aren't going to lose. And I can almost guarantee that because the Grizzlies are missing everyone. Well, I'd be completely wrong. I know that it's one of those trap games. The Denver Nuggets end up just losing some of these weird games, and this ends up being one of those games for the Denver Nuggets. It sucks, but at the same time, you can tell that there was obvious fatigue from them just probably not getting enough sleep. I believe that there were some flight delays, and they ended up landing in Memphis at about 4 something in the morning. And then they play an early game, which definitely hurts them. And you could tell that they were fatigued. And I'll get to a little bit or some of it in a little while, but you can definitely tell that Denver didn't want to run, right? I mean, some of the guys just looked a little iffy, and I still think it's a game where Strother should get more than 6 minutes in the game. I think that Val should probably get more than 6 minutes, and Denver ends up getting dominated from some players that I'll get to. Another thing I'll get to in a little while, but at the same time, I mean, again, it was like a setup game. It's going to happen. These kinds of games are going to happen for the Denver Nuggets. Unfortunately, they get stuck with like I said, the flight delays, and that really just delays their own game plan. They still were running in transition here and there, but they didn't seem like they were the same Denver Nuggets we've seen this entire year. But this is one of the games that Denver needed more than anything, and unfortunately, they're just not able to pull it out. And it was a very sloppy game, and I'll get to it. Like I said, the sloppiness in a second. Before I do that, I do want to say one thing is I told you guys, Ty Jerome is legit, right? And I think in the pregame I was saying it. Ty Jerome gets going, this team can easily lose, and they did. I mean, listen, Ty Jerome dominated the game. He goes 5 for 8 from the 3-point line, 8 for 15 from the field, 21, 9, and 9 for Ty Jerome with only 2 turnovers, which is actually insane. The fact that he grabbed 9 rebounds. Another guy, Olivier Maxence Prosper, is a guy who I talked about this offseason for Denver, a guy who should have been a potential pickup for the Denver Nuggets, a power forward who can extend the floor. And Denver, I don't think, paid any mind to him. He was not on the radar at all. He puts up 19 and 1, no assists, goes 6 for 9 from the field, 3 for 5 from the free throw, or from the 3-point line, 2 steals, 1 turnover, 1 foul. I mean, that's a great game. That's exactly what this Denver Nuggets team would have needed. A power forward who could extend the floor. They have AG. That was a huge loss for this Denver Nuggets team in this game, but I also understand why. He shouldn't play if he can't put all the pressure on his leg right now in back-to-back games because they need him for the playoffs. But again, this would have been such a big win for this Denver Nuggets playoff seeding. Overall, those two guys really just dominated Denver. I mean, you look at the rest of the team. Jalen Wells did okay. G.G. Jackson went 1 for 4 from the 3-point line, dropped 16 points. Then you have Taylor Hendricks off the bench, who goes 1 for 10 from the 3-point line, but still drops 13 points. And that ends up being the difference maker in this game for the Memphis Grizzlies, which is crazy to say that somebody putting up 13 points on 1 for 10 shooting ends up being one of the biggest difference makers in this game. Now, before we continue, I just want to give you guys a quick word from our sponsor. Fast breaks, buzzer beaters, and block parties are back, and Underdog is the best place to get in on all the action. Playing an Underdog is easy. Just pick whether your favorite players will go higher or lower on stats like points, rebounds, steals, and more. Get your picks right, and you can win up to 5,000 times your cash. That is 5,000 times your cash. Today on Underdog, I'm looking at one specific NBA game, and there aren't many NBA games that I am looking at just because the madness has started, baby. The game I'm going to look at, though, is the Phoenix Suns versus San Antonio Spurs, a 39-win team versus a 51-win team. Victor Wembanyama, I think, can dominate in this game. So I'm going to take the 23.5-point projection. I'm going to take the higher on that. I'm going to look at Devin Booker, take the 27.5-point projection, take the higher on that. You could also say that the lower may be the best projection for Devin Booker just because this Spurs team can get it done. They're one of the best teams I've seen in a very long time. Download the app today and use promo code BASKETBALLFAN to score $75 in bonus entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code BASKETBALLFAN. It's on your screen right now. Underdog, make picks, win money. 18 plus. 19 plus in Alabama, Nebraska. 19 plus in Colorado for some games. 21 plus in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia. And
present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/play and get terms. DFSTML for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 helpline at 1-878 or text HOMI 467-369.
Now, when it comes down to the Denver Nuggets and just how they played in general, they cannot afford to play like they just did. I mean, they can't. 19 turnovers as a team. But the biggest thing, in my opinion, was the fact that, like I said, no, they're lacking the sleep and they're definitely a little off. Nikola Jokic had 10 turnovers for this Denver Nuggets team. That cannot happen. It can't. That cannot be the case where this Denver Nuggets team is trying to ride the back of Nikola Jokic, where he doesn't have a triple double. I think in one of the 3 games that they've played in the Grizzlies, but 10 turnovers. Which, I mean, you look at his stat line, and again, this is it looks great on paper. 29, 14, and 9, 11 for 19 from the field, which was the exact same as CB, 2 for 4 from the three-point line, which is good to see, and then 10 turnovers where he is negative in the box score, which is something we haven't seen in a very long time, I feel like, for Nikola Jokic against a team that's not that good. I mean, listen, CB had a fantastic game, 26, 7, and 5. That's his season high. But at the same time, this is what I get at. Denver needs to just figure out how to play as a team and finish games strong as a team. Tim Hardaway Jr., 11 points. That's great. 2 for 11 shooting. So when Christian Brown and Cam Johnson have on shooting nights where Cam goes 5 for 6 from the three-point line, doing exactly what we needed him to do. Nikola Jokic is having an off night when it comes to passing the ball, and Cam Johnson is having an off night shooting the ball. Oh, and guess what? Bruce couldn't hit a shot from the field. So this is my problem with the Denver Nuggets this season so far, is that anytime 2 or 3 guys are on, the rest of the team is off. They have to figure out how to make this team really glue and click in order to win games like this, because these are the biggest types of games. Now, I guess at this point it's just on to the next. Like I said, I guess they play the Raptors, right? Which is another matchup they probably should win, but the Raptors are a fringe playoff team in the Eastern Conference. Games like the Grizzlies game and the Trailblazers game that's coming up on Sunday, those are games that need to be won. You can't afford to drop games like this, because then you get to the end of the stretch where, like I said, you're playing a playoff team in the Phoenix Suns. You're then playing the Spurs again. You're playing the Thunder again. You're playing the Warriors when they potentially get people back. You see the Grizzlies again. Like, you see the Spurs 2 more times this season. This has to be a game that you're able to win. Unfortunately, Denver wasn't able to pull it out. Again, I know that there's excuses. There's a million excuses, and I'm not going to sit here and name them, because that's just it's inexcusable in my opinion. You can't have your best player having 10 turnovers in a game that's a must-win game in my opinion. So overall, brutal game for Denver. They do take on Brandon Ingram and the Toronto Raptors, and that has to be a win game, a game that's won, in my opinion. They can't afford to drop another game, but I will have more breakdown of that tomorrow for you guys. So that is all I got for you guys today, Nuggets Nation. Like I always say, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, comment down below, and I'll catch you guys later.